I could say good morning, it makes no difference to you. Well, actually, you're probably watching this in the morning time, so good morning. But today, it's far from a good morning. It's an unbelievable wet one. We've had a monsoon, and I do not exaggerate when I say that. In the last 3 hours, while I was milking, when I was taking the cows in, for instance, this morning, around about 6:30, 20 to 7, it was lovely and dry. Cows were sitting out, chewing the cud, sitting out, lying down, chewing the cud. Cows don't sit. But when I started bringing them in from milking, it started to rain. And throughout milking, it just deafened you on the roof. I had a look outside, it nearly frightened you. Raining heavy at the minute, but nothing compared to what it was. It's 11 o'clock in the morning now. There's a yard tank, for instance, was half empty this morning. Now the yard is flooded. So that's around about 3,000 gallons of water there. Just from this area here. Supposed to go away this morning, actually, to see my mother, but I have to put the tank on and empty that. But before I can even do that, I have to start regulating these sheds, because I put the cows out this morning and the whole field was just layered with water. And they're just slapping through the fields now. So let that run there for a couple of minutes. While that's hopefully filling, we'll hang this gate. That's better. Now blowing into that tank over there, but you probably noticed in the background that but I was converting these spoutings into plastic because they were all the time leaking. But that last section there, very, very hard to get at. That spouting is put on, or guttering if you want to call it, is put on underneath the sheeting. The sheeting's nailed down through the gutter and into the timber. So I tried my best over here to cut the tops of the nails off, lift the sheeting up, but even then I got it very hard to get these off, so I ended up having to cut it with an angle grinder just underneath. Because this roof here is so steep, it's very, very difficult for me to get in at that. But I will have to wait for a dry day to can get myself up there and get that last bit cut off and run that into here, because that should be getting into that tank, not running in here. You see this guttering here? The way it's starting to rust. That guttering was put on about 4 years ago, I think. There's a bit of footage of me putting that on the channel somewhere, but it is actually completely rusted out in the bottom already. Absolute dung, that stuff. So I'm going to be converting all our gutters to plastic. Finish blowing in, let's suck another one out, then we get on to the next job. This pipe can fall down there, and then when you go to open it out fully, it gets squeezed between here and here, and you can see there it's starting to eat the pipe in. So I want to sort that. I think it's only a matter of loosening that connection over there and just tilting it forward towards this way a wee bit, keeping that pipe in a different area, because that's not, no, that can't be. Just have to be also careful it doesn't hook itself around something there. It shouldn't, but I might just put a cable tie there to hold them two together, and that should solve that problem then completely. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to use it again in a field. There's a few places here that are cracked. You can see it's starting to break off here. It's broken here as well. I can re-weld those, and this gate will be perfect on a field. These gates here, which are heavy duty throughout the rest of the farmyard, this is what I need to put in its place. They're just much, much, much stronger and just more suitable for a yard. We're all more or less set up here. I just have to go around and empty a few drinkers. I'll check that every drinker's filling and nothing's leaking. Test the lights, they're all working. So just turn them on here now. Yeah, everything's working. This little light here was left on at night. I didn't see it coming on. Is it blown? Or is it too bright? Ah, there it is. So it should go off now again itself, yeah. And that little light is controlled by a little photocell here, which is in all the sheds we have, and that determines when it turns on and off automatically, just depending when it gets dark. I do need to come in here and lime the cubicles as well. I'll be doing that in the morning because I haven't got lime yet. Alright, so just heading over here this morning at the phone with me here. It's just gone 48. I'm closing in the cows. It's wet. It's starting to rain heavy again here now, so it is. And we've got a storm that's barreling in probably in the next 3 hours. It's going to hit here. So we're going to have pretty high winds to go along with it. Alright, so the cows are over there settled away. You can see here now how well it's getting around the gate. I'm heading over for the first bales of the year. It's absolutely teeming at the minute here. It's just gone 10:30. Well, almost 10:30. I forgot my phone. Also, the wind is starting to pick up very, very quickly now. So we really need to get these bales in so we can start tying down roofs. So I made a bit of a blunder yesterday evening too. I got up this morning, I couldn't find my camera gear. I normally have a bag I carry all my bits and pieces with me. I was locking up last night. I put it out on the yard with the intentions of picking it up on the way back and bringing it down to the house with me, but I didn't. My camera gear spent the night out in the rain, and as you can see here, this road in front of me that's on the water here, we got a lot of that. It's the bottom of our big hill here where our heifers are, and you can see that's the water running down the hill, the surface of the hill, running down the road. Yeah, pipes can't take it, it's just too much. So it's the first of the soft wet bales that we made. The smell and look pretty decent. We get a better look at them when we get the next few home. Well, they're like drowned rats. I nearly wasn't going to give them any mail this morning. They weren't really roaring looking for it, but hopefully they laid it quick so I don't turn into mush in the trots. Just looking around here, I can see my neighbour's field down there. There's no zoom on this, but I can see his whole meadows are all on the water now, just one big lake. A couple of days ago he was zero grazing that. So here's our little stretch of road here, going over to the cottage. And this is the start of the year. This road will be flooded now practically for the whole winter time. This road is lower than the bog. The bog kind of uses it now as a drainway to come across over here, go in there and kind of make its way over towards the river, which is a couple of miles over that direction. Bog water, it's ferocious smelly stuff, and it gets worse when the ground kind of starts to dry up again, the rain is off, this turns into soup. Remember years ago we had a politician, a good man, he's still alive today and he'd still do anything for you. He's retired now, but if you needed anything like this done, there was a very good chance you could get it done for you. And I don't mean putting in a bypass or putting in white lines in the middle of the road. I mean just putting gravel on it, just the basics to get it up and above the level of the bog. Although we're not supposed to put gravel on a public road, because if anybody fell or anything happened, we'd be accountable for that. So I did mention if they could leave us out some of the, the road planings that they take off the roadways. Sorry, soaking wet here. They'd be dumping that, and I said maybe if they could dump a few load here, just I'd get Jerry in with the digger and I'd pay for it all to be levelled out and everything done, just so we can get across it with a wee bit of comfort. Not going to happen, unfortunately. There's a new dwelling house being built in that road at the minute, and it's lovely to see new people coming on the road. But they're having to drive through that with all of their gear every day in cars. There is a couple of other entries into it, they use them as well, but funny enough they're worse than that. This is the best side of it. It's lovely to see new people coming and new life on a road. It's horrible to see what they have to go through to get to it. Another thing that put a sour taste in my mouth is a couple of days ago I taxed all of my vehicles at the one time, paid a lot of money in tax, and when you come home and then you have to go over a road like that where none of it, nothing that you're paying over the years goes any way towards it, it does put a sour taste in your mouth. This is the first year with film. Now we didn't choose film, our contractor just brought it with him. We've never used film before, so it'll be interesting to see the difference between it and the normal standard net that we use. Other than all the wet we've had, they look good. also a good idea to notch in the balls before you go using this, you know. Back in business. Sure all these doors are closed tight, gates latched. Just string up here. The storm is just easing off now. I think our national weather forecast got that one wrong. We were in a status yellow weather warning for County Cavan. We should have been in an orange. Just looking at that tree there, it was actually twisting and bending. You see, trees now are dangerous because they still got some leaves on them. That adds to the weight, so trees are more susceptible now of getting pulled over. That tree there has to come down. Just looking out through the window, it'd make you very nervous. The bit of fence that was left here fell down. It was rotten anyway, but yeah, you can see also the leaves that comes from that tree. See the bin, how much is moving? I'm not sure if you can work that out. She is dancing on her feet at the minute. The bin is 3/4 full. We filled it yesterday, so there's a bit of weight in it too, but it just shows you how strong it is. I can also see in front of me here, the cover's loosened on the silage pit on this side, so I need to fix that tomorrow. It's not doing any harm, but it has pulled itself up underneath the bag, so we need to tighten that before it starts ripping the cover. Just having a quick glance around to see is everything else all right. To bring this gate around, this cord just ripped off with the gate, so bring it back round. Let's get a different cord here to tie this. I have my roof tied down here to the tractor. We are closing this shed down this year. I do have something bought for the front of that. I just hope the man hasn't sold it on me. We're not putting it in front of it anymore. That's still very strong wind. The other thing I'm watching here, because I'm nearly getting blown on my feet. You can see that sheet moving. There's no timber along the bottom of that. You just have your rafters coming across into the wall. You can see the steel straps there. Jesus. The timbers aren't moving, it's the sheets is coming loose in the timbers. So I'm going to get Jerry, a friend of mine, I'm going to get him to put a new roof on this section here, a non-drip sheet. And I'm also going to get him to fix this area here, whether we put a length of timber, the whole length of it, and bolt it down into the wall. Whatever we have to do, we're going to fix that and then finish it off with a bit of flashing. Because if that came off, then that wouldn't be a good day. Let's get these cows. We branched just down on top of the electric fence. Look at the inside of that. Yeah, ash dayback is annihilating all the ash trees around Ireland. I don't see any other trees down. Oh, I do. There's trees down at the bottom of this field. I have a feeling there's going to be lots more like that, especially on the other farm. Come on, girls, come on, come on. Come on. Not standing at the gate now, which is good news. Girls, come on. Come on, 68. Pet, come on, Medini. You keep going. Go on, I'm not scratching you this evening. Funny part is now, when the cows just got to there, you can hear them roaring now. They can smell the silage. A wee bit of excitement has bounced into their steps, so you couldn't blame them. So Nicole has just started milking there. I can hear the machine going on. I decided I would come over and have a look at this paddock, and it's actually alright, this hill. I'll put a fence across there, a good distance up. There's a lovely cover of grass there, so we'll see what to do in the morning. And see, when they got the taste of silage, what's going to happen now is, come lunchtime, 2 o'clock or so, they're going to be standing to get in, regardless of what grass is there. They know the silage is there too, and they'll want that. You buy the one food over and over again, you get sick of it and you want to try something different, and that's exactly what happens here. So the power is off in our local town, and it's off in a lot of areas. I was talking to different men, were texting me there to see had we got power, and lucky enough we do have power, although we now have a generator and everything's wired, and that was one little thing off our shoulders. We know if the power off on us, we can just continue, and that was always a worry before. Not anymore, but still nice that we don't have to rig it up tonight. and the power stays on. Here we are, that's the start over there now. I don't know whether I'm happy or sad or what I am, but they're in anyway. Not that overly hungry, they're just picking away at it there. They're quite full because I got a lot of grass to eat today, but they're in and they're in out of the elements for the night, and I'd say they're happy for it. Winter, dare I say it, that is the start of it. Well, it's still only autumn, you know what I mean. Just other ones over here eating away as well. Again, not mad fussy to eat. It's not that they don't like the stuff, it's just they're not hungry. I can tell by the way they're just walking around. And there's the rain just coming again. Judging by what the weather's doing, it won't be that long till our in-calf heifers come in as well. Unless there's a rapid improvement, we'll have all animals in fairly soon. Our calves could stay out for another while yet, fingers crossed. Well, I wish I could tell you today is a better day, but it's actually more of the same. A lot of rain last night. A lot of rain. This is rough, this. What the cows eat? Yeah, the right bit. Alright, so that's the cows in the yard. I am absolutely saturated. The difference today is than yesterday. Well, the weather's the same, but it's colder. It's definitely a lot colder, and give that. So them cows are staying in today. They couldn't go out on that. Actually, a week later, I'm just after feeding calves here. I'm getting ready to move them in this paddock here now shortly. But I just want to take you over here and show you the kind of aftermath, or the kind of work that storms this create for farmers. When I was a young lad, I used to love listen to the wind and the rain hit the roof. You'd sleep like a log. As you get a little older, that changes. That mood is the opposite completely. Now, when there's wind, I'm worried about roofs. I'm worried about trees coming down. Worse again, fall on top of cattle. You'd always be thinking of the animals outside. Kind of giving you the workload. So there's a pile of bushes down there from the last trees. There's another one on the other side of that, kind of a hill there. So after this one here, we have stuff like this here. Not the end of the world, but there's an awful lot of them. That's the problem. Thankfully our lime trees over there, they have a couple of branches down, but none of them is tossed. I haven't been to the far side yet to check that. I'm going to stick the drone up now in a wee while and let it have a look around. That storm we had last January created an awful lot of work for us. Only some of it you've seen on the channel because I didn't want to make the stuff repetitive. But in between, when I was making the other videos, I was constantly cutting sticks. It took a lot of the springtime and a good chunk of the summer to get them all cleared. No zoom in this yoke, but up there are two big lumps of bushes down as well. They're sure busted. Just beside the shuck. So we have to cut that and get that back in there and clear that. The bushes and things like that, they're stuff that we can easily pick up, race around the Kubota and pick them up over time. But big trees, the leg of this by here, what is that? That's a chestnut actually. Nice healthy tree, there's not even any ivy really on it or nothing. But it went as well. And of course when it goes, it takes the whole barbed wire and posts and all. It just creates a lot of work. There's a fair bit of timber in there now. And thankfully it's nice clean timber, it'll not be too hard to cut up, but there's a lot of bushes. And the bushes themselves are a problem. You have to just pile it somewhere, let it rot away, or bury it, or whatever you want to do with it. So I'll be working at these between now and Christmas, just tiddling away at them, and then I'll have to come back in here in the springtime and fix all these posts, put back up the barbed wire. Same over here, another big bush, or big half lump of a ash came down, broke the wire there too. Reason why these trees come down along here, it's always a problem area. You can see it, that's about 15 foot, maybe 20 foot drop straight down to that field. These trees here are growing in the bankment. As they get bigger, they just can't sustain themselves and they fall over. And that's what's going to happen. All the trees across here, every one of these trees will fall eventually. Our houses at the minute are packed with sticks. We have sticks packed outside, we have them everywhere. What I might do with that lick of them trees there, I might log them up, might split them, and then I might actually sell the timber off them because we have enough trees at the minute to do us for a long time. More branches down over here. It's not the end of the world, it's part of owning land. You have to maintain it. The only worry I have is it's very early in the year. It's only October, early October. We've got a whole storm season. We've got a storm season now in Ireland. Apparently we could have a lot more trees down between now and springtime. We could be in for another very busy spring and summer clearing them. Over there in the corner there is a tree with crab apples on it, and all the crab apples are falling on the ground now. But we had an animal choking one of those before, back a long time ago, and unfortunately it did kill her. We put a fence around them now when they start to lose their apples, just until the stuff rots away on the ground. As soon as they start to go off, cattle get less interested in them. There's the pile of bushes that we had just there with my finger from last year as well. I'm just pleased to see that my lime trees is alright. A couple of branches here and there, but nothing to worry about. I'm going to start clearing them bushes now tomorrow onwards, seeing the ground is somewhat still dry, and that's the amazing thing. You remember about our cows, and I was worried whether I'd have to put them in full time or not. Well, that next day where you seen that last clip, our cows stayed in that day, but the following day I put them into that hill where I put up that electric fence, and they never made a mark. Well, a bit of surface muck, but no real poaching. Very surprised at that. The ground still was hard underneath, and the water, a lot of it, just run off the top and away. Apart from that one day, and our cows have been out in the daytime ever since. They're in at night ever since. They're not eating a huge amount of silage. I think we used in the last week maybe 15 bales. Not the end of the world. We are heading for middle of October. That's it. I'm going to leave it there. A bit different one for next week. I think you'll enjoy it. See you then.